What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. Let's take some time to talk about Terra Luna Classic because you know I'm always excited when there's any type of burn. And I wanted to make this video earlier when the burn happened, but I'm kind of busy. I got children to take care of and just a lot of stuff that's going on. So, especially as we're getting into the new year, it is now the new year. We have a lot of things to really focus on. But um, I wanted to talk about Terra Luna Classic because as we see the first, we're very hopeful that we will see another burn. And I was hoping that we will not see a Binance message saying, hey, we will not be supporting the burns anymore. And I'm glad to say that we're seeing a burn, just to kind of put all of that stuff out there. But let's take some time to talk about this. I want to talk about the burn. I want to talk about what's happening with Terra Luna Classic and maybe some other details as well. So guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out any of the links down below. It does help out the channel. Don't forget, if you guys want to check out, the newly launched HG Access, where you have a bunch of different YouTubers that are included in live streams, monthly live streams, where we'll have around 3 live streams a month. It doesn't mean that I'm included in every one, but I may be in 1 or 2, or maybe even 3. But then you also have access to all of the alpha plays that are involved with this. So if you want to check this out, the link will be in the description for this. They have different memberships here, and just to kind of show you what those memberships are, you have the HG Agent membership, and then you have the HG Agent Plus if you want to check those out. Remember, you get access to a plethora of YouTubers ranging from tens of thousands of subscribers all the way up to 200,000 subscribers, right? I can't speak today, but it's fine. You get a lot of access to a ton of people, so definitely go ahead and check that out. But let's go ahead and dive into Terra Luna Classic, because what we're seeing with this is, we saw a decent sized burn. Now, before we actually dive into that, I want to let you guys know that I do have a link for Margex down below. If you want to sign up for Margex, you can trade with leverage. I currently have 2 trades that are open. I'm up 23% and 353% on these plays because I am trading with leverage. And get this, I only traded with $7 here. I did trade with a decent amount here. It was around $90, but here I'm trading with about $70 and I'm up 354%. Now, is that a crazy amount dollar-wise? It's only $26 dollar-wise, but it is still a lot. Anyways, definitely check out that link. That should be somewhere at the top of the description. But if we look at Terra Luna Classic, where it is right now, it's up about 0.25%, kind of flat on the day. We did see a dive in the day. If we look at the last 24 hours, as we looked at basically 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. yesterday, things did dive down all the way down to this low level, which was 1:40 a.m. I was awake at that time. I was awake throughout the night, all the way up until about 2:30, I want to say. It might have been like 2 or 2:30, but around this time is where things really started to pick up, and they really jumped to a different level, breaking over this level, which would have been classified as kind of that level of a resistance, but broke through that and now is up here at the 0.0004 or 14 level, while it was down here at the 13 level. So not a significant movement, but it does look like a bigger movement on the chart. But it's good to see the more upward swing, especially after we are seeing the burn, the continuation of that. So currently standing at an $834 million market cap. We're hoping that this is not going to get back down to a level to where it adds another zero. A lot of people are concerned about that because how far we did grow. It doesn't make sense that we dropped that far, and how the volume has completely shifted. We saw volume of over 1 billion. It was like 1.2 to 1.5 billion dollars in a day, and for 2 days straight, it was around the $1 billion market cap or $1 billion volume, and even up in the $1 billion market cap level. And now we're seeing $41 million worth of volume. The complete change from where we were to where we are is massive. And if we would have seen that volume consistently throughout the month, we probably would have seen a lot more of a burn. A lot of people were shooting for about 5 to 10 billion. In the beginning of the month, we again saw all that volume, but then as we saw the later half of the month, it really didn't amount to even as much as we did in the first week. So we saw the last 3 weeks, they didn't even get close to amounting what the first week was of December, because it really blew up and saw billions of dollars worth of volume. I think it was like $4 or $5 billion worth of volume. But then the rest of the month really accounted for like maybe hundreds of millions. And again, we're seeing $48 million worth of volume in the last 24 hours, which is not good compared to where we were. So if we look at what the burn actually was, the total Binance burn that they did, and I'm glad that they did it, was 5.57 billion coins that they end up burning off. So that's amazing to be able to see that. It's over what they burned off the last time, which was 3.9 billion. And then before that, you saw that level of about 1 billion that was burned off from Binance. I believe that's what it was. It might have been a little bit more. 1 billion, 1.4, 2.6 billion. So we're seeing a lot more than what we've seen in the past, where it was a lot more bearish. But that's because we had that amazing week in the first week of December. But now we're getting to a point where my thought process was like, maybe they'll come and say, look, we're stopping the burns for the new year. And honestly, there was kind of a difficult situation to kind of grasp, because as they make this burn, this is technically for December. So if they decide to make a burn for January, or they decide to change things for 2024, it would be for the January volume, because they already committed to doing that for the whole year basically. So in January, who really knows what's going to happen? And honestly, it brings up the question, as I put on Twitter, like, is this enough? And some people within the comment section were like, no, I don't think it's enough, but I also don't think taxing the hell out of people is the right way to go. And I don't think that that is the case, that we are taxing the heck out of people, because if we would see a 0.5% or a 1% or whatever, that's not taxing people to a massive extent, right? Because if you see, if you have a certain sales tax, or you have tax on your revenue, you have tax on how much you get paid, you're seeing a lot of taxes there. And I guarantee that people aren't going, you know what, I'm just not going to work, because they're taking 13% or 15% in taxes, or they're taking 39% or 40% in your taxes as you own a business. Maybe it's even 50 or 60%. Are people not owning businesses in California because they're taking 60% of their revenue? No. And I'm not saying that needs to be the case, because Terra Luna Classic doesn't need to have that forever. It's always just been about recovery, and people like to push it into utility. It's not about that. So honestly, it brings up the question, is it enough? And maybe we can have that question and explore that a little bit further, because I feel like that's a huge conversation, something that we need to go probably 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes on, just discussing whether it is or it isn't enough. But Binance has burned 5.5 billion. Let's call it a win, because it's more than what we've seen before. But is it something that's going to have, a crazy long-standing impact to the overall price? I mean, not necessarily. It's not really going to increase the ceiling that much more than what it was without the 5.5 billion. However, it does increase it a little bit, right? A slight bit. So we need to see a lot more activity to end up seeing this overall supply burn down. But again, it's phenomenal to see those burns. I'm excited about that burn, but there's many more things that we can do in order to burn down that supply a lot faster. Because remember, this is about recovery, not creating utility to recover. Because if we're creating utility to recover, we're creating that utility, we recover, and now we have new utility based on what the overall process is and the path forward is there. So all that utility in the past might not be relevant in this new age that we have the changes there. So anyways, guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more videos like this one. Also, remember, again, we have the HG access down below if you want to sign up for that, as well as signing up for Margex. There's been a lot of people that I've had a lot of success with Margex. Again, I've had a ton of success with Margex, and I like making these trades, especially while things are dipping down, because now you can just set it and forget it and let it run on a 100 or 50x leverage or 25x leverage, or in that case of Caspa to 12x leverage, just so that I have a really, really low liquidity or liquidation price. So anyways, definitely check that out. The link is down below. The link for HG Access is down below. I'm going to get out of here, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.